Hi, everyone, and happy holidays. This is YZHEP again with another beautiful 7 foot Royal Pine Pom Pom Christmas tree that I just got done restoring. What you see here is approximately 30 hours worth of work, give or take. Um, this was given to me on consignment, and I was told by the individual that just a few of the branches had to be looked at and that it was in fairly good shape. Uh, and I'm not pointing the finger at anyone, but it's all a matter of perspective. What one person thinks is good shape, another person thinks it's terrible condition. In my opinion, and having restored these for many years, the tree that I received was not in very good shape and was not well taken care of. Which let me stop here a second and suggest that you see my previous two videos. And again, I'm not a professional videographer, so I'm not into the cutting and editing. I just want to share my knowledge with those of you out there who love these aluminum Christmas trees. But there is a way to maintain these so that they do not have to get restored at a very costly expense and will last for years to come and pass on from generation to generation as they don't make these any longer. Uh, so, one of the most important things is that I realize that it's very tedious, but these branches should be put into their sleeves at the end of the season. I know it's a lot of branches, and you may be tired and from putting away all your Christmas decorations, and you just think it's easier just to toss them all in, and maybe next year you'll put them in the storage sleeves. And so you toss them all in the box. But what that happens is that what happens there is that it'll ruin the needles on the tree. It'll bend them, the aluminum, crack them, and it takes away from the integrity of the tree, the value, and its beauty. So I would suggest that you take time, a day when you're not exhausted from taking down all your Christmas decorations, and then take this tree down uh, carefully. And also, I would recommend that if you have children who want to help, which it's always nice to have the children get involved with setting up the decorations and also taking them down. It's really important that they be placed in the bag properly, as I demonstrated in my other video. If they're placed incorrectly, again, you're going to get the breakage, the bending of the needles, and these are things that do not just go back into place when you remove them from their sleeves. The damage, for the most part, for those people who do not know how to restore them, it's permanent unless you set it to be restored. And restoring these trees can be very costly, and that's because it's a very tedious process and involves a lot of steps. And depending on the type of tree that you have to be restored, uh, um, ever some that have like the pine needles might be a little easier. This one here in particular, the pom pom, is very difficult to restore. Very difficult. It takes numerous hours. As I said, this has 30 hours, give or take, in it to get restored. But the uh, the outcome is that it's back to its original state, and it's absolutely beautiful. So just wanted to share this Royal Palm 7 foot. This one, by the way, is sold already. So in case any of you want to inquire about it, it has been sold, and it's going on to a very, hopefully, a home that will enjoy it for many years to come. And I always get great pleasure in in seeing my final work. The truth is that as I'm doing it, I want to give up. That's why I don't do this very often. But in the end, it's well worth it. So take a look at this one. there's different types, and I'm going to show you another tree that I have. This one here, the ends come out like in fluffy and tears, and that's one type of pom pom. But the inner branches here, they kind of like go a little here there, so it's a nice little effect. For me, it looks like something more original, even though we know it's an aluminum Christmas tree. Well, some people do, and I think it's also very pretty, is that they wrap the pole with silver garland, and it makes the tree look fuller. I think that's also a good idea if you want to make your tree look fuller. But once you have all the branches in, it's actually very nice. As you're putting them in, you're like, oh, this tree looks a little sparse. But once the branches are all situated and they're in, the tree is actually very beautiful. The another thing that I'm going to suggest and hint and leave you with, uh, I know that some of you may not have the funds to restore this, and I wouldn't suggest that you take this project on unless you are have done it before, trial and error, and you're willing to sacrifice, make mistakes, possibly ruin a few branches. Uh, but that's a good way of learning, of starting up. But it's very difficult to replace the same branch. Some people will sell them online, but keep in mind, they're not always going to be exactly the same length, the same style. So be very careful if you decide to take this a project like this on your own. Also, in terms of taking a one of the steel rods and rebuilding the aluminum from scratch, restoring, that's nearly impossible. I would say it's just impossible. So I would not even, I don't do that. And my hint to you is that if you cannot afford to have it restored, number one, maintain it so that you don't have to get to the point where it has to be restored. And one of the most important things that you need to do when you are maintaining a tree is that when the branches, the needles get loose at the end of the branch, please do not scotch tape them in. Okay, first of all, the tape turns yellow. I'm sure a lot of you have branches that on your tree that are, you look at it, it's very beautiful, but then you see all these yellow little spots and things coming out. Do not do that. That takes away from the elegance and the beauty of the tree. So do not use scotch tape of any type, clear, any type of clear tape, matte tape. Do not use that. Try to use aluminum tape because that will match the stem of the stem and the needles, and it's not it doesn't stand out. You can't see through it, so that you can see the repair, and it holds up. Works well with the color tree wheel lighting because it will reflect the lighting as well. So that is my free suggestion to all of you out there who love these beautiful trees and may have one sitting in their home right now that needs that's in need of some repair. So thank you for looking at my video. I have two more branches that I have to put on this one down here at the bottom, and then it's off to its owner. Thanks everyone, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.